So get your hands dirty and then delegate like a madman when the cash flow gets heavy, okay? When you start making some freaking money, then you start delegating. Until you're making the freaking money, get your hands dirty and do the work. Now when it comes to delegation, I think there's 2 levels of delegation, and you can get really rich doing just level 1, which is the easy level of delegation. It's the tasks. You're gonna tell somebody what to do. Hey, get on this lawnmower and drive it, get in this box truck and drive it. And then there's the second level of delegation, which is decisions. I need somebody else to be able to make decisions. That's the hard level. And I'll tell you, you can build a business to several $million a year where every decision comes to you. Nobody else in your company makes any decisions. It's not really a great way to live, but I've seen people make generational wealth. They've made millions of dollars by only delegating tasks and never once delegating the actual decision making. I got this monkey on the back thing that I talk about with decisions. Some of you might have heard about it or read about it. Every time an employee comes to me in my business with a decision to make or a problem, they've got a monkey on their back. It's a problem, they gotta solve it. Me, before I knew what I was doing, I would say, hey, okay, give me that problem and get out of here. I'm gonna solve it. The monkey would jump off of their back and get on my desk. Now it was my problem. Sure enough, right when that employee left, another employee came in with another monkey on their back. Hey, I got a problem. I got a decision to make. What do I do? I'd say, oh yeah, I'll handle it. Get out of here. At the end of the day, this is what my office looked like. I had a bunch of problems, and I couldn't stop work until 10 or 11 o'clock at night because I was solving all of my employees' problems. Turns out that decision making and problem solving is a muscle, and if you tell all your employees, get out of my way, I'll solve it. It's the easy way. It definitely is quicker. I can do the job better. I can solve this problem quicker. It definitely is more work to teach that employee how to solve the problem and what to do about their monkey. But in the long run, having employees that can solve their own problems is the only way that you can actually delegate and step out of a business. And decision making, like problem solving, decision making, it's a muscle. And I'm really into parenting. I have 3 young kids. I'm kind of all bark, no bite, because none of my kids are old enough to get in any trouble at this point, so take all this advice with a grain of salt. But I think a lot of kids today are in a bubble, meaning their parents make every single decision for them. And I also compare parenting to running a company because it's really awesome. I actually love hiring teachers because it turns out if you can manage 34-year-olds, you have no problem managing 34-year-olds. So I think kids are in a bubble. I went to college at Cornell in Ithaca, New York. It's an Ivy League school. On my floor, there were kids with tons of wealth. Their parents were business owners. Their parents practically took the SATs for them to get them into Cornell. Turns out these kids had never actually made a decision for themselves their entire lives. We were going to a party in College Town in Ithaca, and they'd be calling their parents saying, it's about 35 degrees out. What's the bus schedule, Mom? Should I take a bus? Should I take a taxi? Or should I walk? It's like, holy shit, these kids don't know how to make any decision. And a couple semesters later, they had failed out of college. Total life was in shambles because they were never taught to make a decision. So I like to give my 5-year-old a lot of what I call low-risk decisions to make so that he can practice. And if they go poorly, he cries for a couple minutes. It's a very low-risk decision, and he forgets about it. I don't want him to be 18, never having made a decision before. It's 2 in the morning, and he makes a really bad decision that ruins his life. Employees are the same way. If you don't teach your employees to make very low-risk decisions, they'll never be able to make the high-risk, important decisions. And decision-making is a muscle, okay? I really like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I want to build muscle like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I sat on my computer, I made a full-on workout spreadsheet, I watched hours and hours and hours of Arnold Schwarzenegger videos, read a biology book about muscle, I ordered a bunch of muscle protein. 3 weeks later, I had no muscle. I didn't have any muscle. I couldn't figure out why. Turns out, you gotta go to the freaking gym and lift the weight. Delegation is the same way, and decisions are the same way. People read about decision making, they read about delegation, they go to conferences like this, they listen to people like me, they watch YouTube videos, they listen to podcasts, they read books, they do all this stuff to become better leaders, better decision makers, better delegators, but they don't pick up the damn weight. They never actually hired anybody and told them what to do. So I feel the same way. Decisions, all this stuff, you get it. Who, not how. Every decision, everything that needs done in my company now It's natural for me when a problem comes or something needs done, I think of how can I do this? How can I learn how to do this? The mindset shift is who can I get to do this? All of you have a problem in your company right now, and you're thinking, ooh, how can I do this? And once you start operating business at a high level, that mindset shifts, and it's who can I get to do this? It's not how will I do this. It's who else can I get to do this? So now, if I have a job in my company, I'm pissed about it, and I'm recruiting because I don't like having a job in my company. My job is to run the company. So my employees come to me all the time. They're like, Nick, we got this, that, and the other to do. Can you help me with this? I'm like, oh, I don't work here. But look, with that, I got to have a disclaimer. Many of you guys don't own businesses yet, or you own small businesses, and you got to understand that this is a process. You can't skip ahead and be this visionary. I think this addiction to becoming a visionary is very, very dangerous for entrepreneurs because nobody wants to roll up their sleeves and do the damn work. It's very easy to go to these conferences like, oh, I'm thinking bigger now. I'm going to come back home and I'm going to be decision making. I'm going to delegate everything. If I have a job, I'm pissed. When you got 4 people at your company, and before you know it, you got too many chiefs and not enough Indians. I'm going to get canceled again. So get your hands dirty, and then delegate like a madman when the cash flow gets heavy, okay? When you start making some freaking money, then you start delegating. Until you're making the freaking money, get your hands dirty and do the work.
Big news, guys. I created a free PDF that details my method on how I analyze a self-storage facility and figure out what it's worth. Give me a pen, the back of a napkin, and a couple metrics, and I can figure out about what the property is going to be worth to me. If you want to download this PDF, click in the show notes, the first link, and you can give me your email address, and you get a email right away with a 4-page PDF that outlines exactly how I think about underwriting or giving my initial analysis on a self-storage facility. Again, click the link in the show notes, and you're going to get that document for free.
This episode of Sweaty Startup is brought to you by SupportShepherd.com. SHEPHERD. They are a full-service headhunting agency in the Philippines to help you find talent for your service business at 20% of the cost of U.S. equivalents. I've hired 8 employees through Support Shepherd. I cannot speak highly enough about how it is revolutionizing my business. This company finds you candidates. They background check them. They do personality tests. They make sure they're a good fit based on your job description. They set up the interviews, and they even help you with the employment contract when you're ready to make the hire. I cannot recommend them enough. Check out SupportShepherd.com to learn more.